In today's equity index futures markets, boy, we saw selling across the board, but let's highlight the S&P 500 futures today. We saw a pickup in volume once again today. We're seeing some volatility to the downside. We're seeing the S&P futures right now really right around the 32.39 level as we settled out today. So down quite significantly today. And it is interesting that when you look at the price action here, we're only up slightly now for the year. And so we've given up basically all the gains. Started the year, I think, at 32.31. So again, just about 8 handles higher currently than where we ended 2019. So we're seeing some significant selling pressure here. It's been continued through the weekend and into Monday with, again, the concerns about global growth and this coronavirus. And really, the coronavirus is the headline. And the impact in and of itself is probably not worthy of the selling pressure, but it's more about the uncertainty surrounding it and also the fact that it definitely is going to have an impact on China growth perspective, and therefore I think that's why you're seeing the equity markets continuing to sell off here. The concerns are that global growth is going to slow, and certainly the initial impact of this uncertainty in this virus is something that has most of the economic structures around the globe a little bit concerned about the potential impact. And ultimately, when you look at the central bank message that was delivered last week, and we're going to get the Fed this week, they are already concerned about the growth prospects. So I think that's another factor why we're seeing the equity markets continuing to sell off here. Looking at some of the price action here, I want to point out that when you look at the trends in place right now, definitely from a technical standpoint, we're seeing that 3.5-month uptrend from early October now being threatened and effectively being broken. So today's price action, this gap lower that we experienced today, has now taken out that uptrend, and it will be interesting to see if if we're going to see further selling pressure, which could push us back down to maybe that 50-day moving average or below. Now that we have effectively broken this 3.5-month uptrend from a technical standpoint. Also, I want to point out the options activity today. We did see a significant pickup in put action, and the 32 line was the most active strike today. About 7,000 of those were traded. But if you looked at the puts, the out-of-the-money puts, all the way down to the 29.75 line is where we saw, again, a big increase in volume. So you're seeing some hedging taking place here now that we're seeing the S&P futures realizing, again, a little bit more of a sustained down move. And it is interesting when you look at the price action today, though, there was one stock that was up today. There was a few, but CME stock certainly reacted very positively to this news with the pickup in volumes and the pickup in volatility. So there's one outlier there as far as the CME stock definitely bucking the trend today.